You played the Warriors. The Warriors are really good. Okay, their defense is going to be better.
Yeah.
But their shooting is still going to be an issue. And so now you have to say, how long are you going to give this? Put a time on it. Is it 5 games? Is it 10 games? Is it 15? How long are they going to give this group, as currently constructed, to play what we saw like they did last night, where they were 2 for 20 from 3 until they had a nice run in the fourth quarter, but they were 2 for 20 at one point.
Yeah, well, for me, it's more about like what Ramona said. How long are you going to give this? Because the energy will get sucked out of the building. There's already other things going on that we can feel, right? If you're a fan and you watch, whether it's more about, the hamstring injury, the spacing, all of these different things. You're not really sure what's going on, but what you are sure of is that, like you said, maybe tomorrow night they shoot well against the Clippers, but statistically speaking, over a long enough time, they are not a good enough shooting team to actually really accomplish very, very much.
Let's bring Kendrick Perkins into this conversation. Hey, Perk.
Oh, wow.
What's that?
Came with the camo today.
I did. I came ready for action. I'm about to give you my thoughts. Here's my thing, right? When you look at Rob Pelinka and you think about how he has been for as the general manager, the guy that has been pushing buttons for us, making acquisitions in the offseason, he's the one to blame. Nobody else has been giving him advice. Yes, we understand that that LeBron and AD both had a say in bringing in Russell Westbrook. But when it comes down to the supporting cast, this is on Rob Pelinka. And look, if you go back and look at the history of players that LeBron played with, he had shooting on his teams. He had Kyle Korver. He had James Jones. He had Mike Miller. He had J.R. Smith. He had shooting around him. And when I'm looking at this Lakers team, one, they could possibly start off 0-7 or 0-6 in their first couple of games. But Rob Pelinka has to get his act together. Right now, he's doing a disservice to LeBron James and Anthony Davis. And right now, we're wasting, the Lakers are wasting greatness out of LeBron James. Because what he did last night, he looked phenomenal. He was in great shape. I thought AD looked good, but the others, and that includes Mr. Patrick Beverley himself, he didn't do a damn thing as well.
Well, look, this is the thing I'm going to say, and we got to understand. To Perk's point about shooting, LeBron James, in the history of basketball, maybe higher level in the history of sports, we haven't seen many players be able to turn into sugar. I'm not going to say it on TV. You know what I'm talking about. When you go back and look at his team, we all applaud him. But look at what he did in 2007. Look at what he did in 2018. These are the teams. These were the top players on his team that he went to the NBA Finals. But you still know what you see there. You see some shooting. You got Bobby Gibson. You got Larry Hughes. I played against the 2007 team. They beat me, J. Kidd, and Vince Carter, right? So we understand that. And then in 2018, we all applaud that might have been the best year that LeBron has ever had. But he's got Rodney Hood, Kevin Love, J.R. Smith. He's got shooting on the roster. So there is no player in the history of basketball, maybe in the history of sports, that if you give him a little bit of what you need, what he needs, he will give you so much more. Right now, they don't have the shooting that he needs. On top of it, Anthony Davis doesn't have the shooting that he needs. And I'm going to tell you something that's been a bit unfair. Russell Westbrook doesn't have the shooting around him that he needs. So none of their 3 top players have the things that they need in order to be successful. So really, it's entirely unfair for us to even really criticize them if they're not being put in a position to succeed.
Look, you can read me off the Russ stats, which always look pretty good. The bottom line is just watch him when he's in the game with LeBron. He's just standing around doing nothing, and Russell Westbrook standing around doing nothing because LeBron has to have the ball is severely damaging to your team. None of this is a surprise. The Lakers started the season as, at best to me, the 9th best team in the West. Last night was a disaster. They had 58 points on 50% shooting from their 2 stars, and they had 0 chance to win the game for all the reasons that we're talking about. And I think another undersold reason is, we're going to get to the tape here, but not only is the lack of shooting, they just have such a lack of size on the wing. And I know Troy Brown Jr. is hurt, but look, first of all, don't go under a screen on Klay Thompson.
Well,
Klay Thompson, did anyone review this at all? But he's just shooting over these guys. It's just target practice. And here's another one. Lonnie Walker, 6'4". He's like the 3rd biggest guy on the floor for them. And again, it's Klay Thompson. What are you doing? Stay on Klay Thompson. But it's just target practice. These guys are so small. And look, if you're going to start Anthony Davis at center, that's great. If you're going to go all in on AD at the 5, That's great. It's a concession to Westbrook because he's such a non-shooter, but you have to have actual real-life 3-and-D wings to do it. They're just too small, and all of their weaknesses were on full display last night. It was a really, really bad night for the Lakers.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.